Hello and a very warm welcome to this special edition of Rajya Sabha television. The 252nd session of Rajya Sabha will commence from September 14th. This session, amid the COVID-19 pandemic, will see several firsts in India's parliamentary history with logistical overhaul and also unprecedented seating arrangement for members of parliament. So how will Indian Parliament, the supreme lawmaking body of the land, function? Here's everything you need to know about the ensuing session and also catch the unseen behind-the-scene actions. Come along with me on this journey. Stage is set for the first Parliament session after the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. President of India has summoned the Rajya Sabha to meet on 14th of September 2020. Subject to exigencies of business, the session is scheduled to conclude on 1st of October 2020. In view of the prevailing situation due to COVID-19 pandemic, summons for the session commencing on September 14th have been issued through email only. Unless otherwise notified, the time of sittings of the Rajya Sabha during the 252nd session will be from 9 am to 1 pm except on 14 September, the first day of the session, when the House will meet from 3 pm to 7 pm. For the first time in history of Indian Parliament since 1952, chambers and galleries of both houses will be used to hold the monsoon session. With around 770 seats in Parliament, India has world's fourth largest parliament by the number of lawmakers after UK, Italy and France. And this history will be scripted after months of perspiration, determination and hard work. The Rajya Sabha chamber and galleries and the Lok Sabha chamber will be used for seating members during the monsoon session. The seating arrangement will include 60 members in the chamber and 51 in the galleries of Rajya Sabha, leaving out the first row for social distancing. The rest 132 members will be seated in the chamber of Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu had directed the Rajya Sabha Secretariat officials to ensure full preparedness by the third week of August. And the Rajya Sabha Secretariat worked overtime to ensure that.
We have been preparing for this in the background for the last about 1 month, and we have been working with several permutations and combinations, and we had reached one set in which we want to hold the session. And after having done the preparation yesterday, Honorable Chairman, he came and he in fact saw the rehearsal in a way to see how the various processes of the Parliament, process of the Rajya Sabha, how will they be done and whether the systems are working satisfactorily. So, in front of him a whole drill was organized and it was conducted smoothly.
In fact, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu went through the familiarization drill for over 45 minutes.
Lady member should be heard and he should be on the screen, not the other.
देश में गरीबी और अशिक्षा का जो वातावरण है उसका मूल कारण है कि हमारे यहाँ
Officials of the Rajya Sabha were meant to sit in the chambers of both the houses and the galleries of Rajya Sabha for the mock proceedings.
आप क्या करना चाहते हैं? What do you want to say?
लोगों ने बड़े पैमाने पर नौकरी के लिए अप्लाई किया और पढ़े लिखे ग्रेजुएट इंजीनियर्स और पुलिस भी, तो इस बेरोजगारी को हटाने के लिए आपको गाँव नहीं या नहीं जब तक केवल नौकरियों पर नहीं देते हैं कि वह पढ़ी कर केवल नौकरी लगी होती है नहीं, चाहे वह कोई भी गवर्नमेंट।
Chairman Naidu went through the drill in respect of various elements of the proceedings of the House, including members seeking to raise various issues from different locations by raising hands, raising points of order, participating in voice vote and division if required. He also tested audio quality along with simultaneous interpretation during participation of Rajya Sabha members from both the Houses of Parliament.
The members, when they are speaking from the Lok Sabha, or they are speaking from the on the Rajya Sabha galleries or from the chamber, it would be seamless as if they are speaking from inside the Rajya Sabha chamber. So, that is a different kind of experience that the members are going to experience for the first time.
Various political parties will be allotted seats in the chamber and galleries of the Rajya Sabha based on the respective strength. The rest will be seated in the chamber of Lok Sabha. In the Rajya Sabha chamber, seats will be earmarked for Prime Minister, Leader of the House, Leader of the Opposition and leaders of other political parties. Former Prime Ministers and former leaders of the House, Dr. Manmohan Singh and H.D. Deve Gowda, besides ministers and members of the House, will also have earmarked seats in the chamber. Other ministers will be seated in the seats meant for the ruling party. 4 large display screens of 85 inches each in the chamber and another 6 of 40 inches each in the 4 galleries of the House will allow members to watch proceedings. Seats in the galleries will be fitted with consoles to enable participation of members in the proceedings of the House from their seats. Polycarbonate sheets will separate the officials' gallery of Rajya Sabha from the chamber, as both are in close proximity. The interpretation booths of Rajya Sabha will be integrated with audio systems for simultaneous interpretation.
Went to the chairman and the speaker Lok Sabha, it was found that of course there are certain infrastructure issues again involved, because in the galleries there is no sound console, no microphone. Similarly, in the Rajya Sabha chamber there are no big screen, TV screen, where the members of the other house, they can be shown here. So we involved CPWD and the sound people and the TV people, and we asked them that they should work out a mechanism through which these things can be integrated. So these people really worked hard, and ultimately they have succeeded in connecting the 2 houses both virtually as well as through sound. Audio and visual connections have been made, but there were tense moments because this is happening first time. If anything goes wrong, and this is the Parliament of India, so it will give a very wrong signal. So though they asked for a 1 month time, but we started monitoring from the day 1. They said they will take one time to put the things in place, but we said no, we will do weekly monitoring. So at my level or Secretary General level, we do regular monitoring, and we every week, we not, as far as I am concerned, I go up after every 3rd day and see what progress they have made, what are the glitches, what are the problems they are facing, and what can be the solutions.
The decision to hold monsoon session in the Parliament House complex at multiple locations was taken after months of deliberations. The task was an arduous one. Several meetings were held. Plethora of options were considered, and finally, the plan was crystallized. The Rajya Sabha Secretariat resumed its functioning on the 27th day of the nationwide lockdown on April 20th, amid safeguards against COVID-19. The preparations began soon after. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu and Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla reviewed various options for holding the ensuing monsoon session of Parliament in early June. The Secretaries General reported the outcomes of assessment of seating capacity in the chambers of both the houses, the Central Hall of Parliament and the Plenary Hall of Vigyan Bhavan. Chairman Naidu and Speaker Birla, at a meeting on July 17th, after detailed examination of various options for holding the monsoon session, decided on using the chambers and galleries of both the houses for enabling the monsoon session under the prevailing restrictions. Both are familiar with every small detail of Parliament complex, but they undertook field visits to physically check how MPs could sit across different areas.
चेयरमैन साहब के काफ़ी इसमें गाइडेंस रही, उनके गाइडेंस के हिसाब से हमने काफ़ी जगह एक्सप्लोर की, जिसमें विज्ञान भवन भी गए हैं, हम बाल योगी देखा, सेंट्रल हॉल को भी स्टडी किया, सेंट्रल हॉल में सेशन हो सकता है, उसकी कैपेसिटी ज़्यादा है, तो विद द टाइम हमने उन सबको रिपोर्ट बना के दिया, चेयरमैन साहब को टाइम टू टाइम रिपोर्ट दिया कि ये फिजिबिलिटी रिपोर्ट है, मानसून सेशन इस तरीके से हो सकता है या नहीं हो सकता। तो तो वर्चुअल मोड भी हमने एक्सप्लोर किया, वर्चुअल मोड से हो सकता है कि नहीं हो सकता। तो बाद में इसे सारी रिपोर्ट देखने के बाद दोनों प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर्स ने ये डिसाइड किया कि इस तरीके से करते हैं कि दोनों हाउस को यूज़ करें और गैलरीज को यूज़ करें, तो बहुत ज़्यादा डिसलोकेशन नहीं होगा। अदरवाइज़ विज्ञान भवन या कहीं हम करेंगे तो थोड़ा डिसलोकेशन ज़्यादा होगा। तो इस तरीके से बहुत ही चैलेंजिंग टास्क रहा कि ये उस वक्त बहुत डर भी रहता था, कहीं इधर आना जाना, विज्ञान भवन जाने को स्टडी करना, तो वो थोड़ा सा मुश्किल था। काफ़ी ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग सेशन हमने किए, आपस में सब ऑफिसर्स मिलके बैठते थे, स्टडी करते थे, जो नॉर्म्स हैं वो किस तरह फॉलो होंगे, क्या उन नॉर्म्स फॉलो करके हम कर पाएंगे या नहीं कर पाएंगे। तो इट्स ए गुड मेंटल एक्सरसाइज ऑल्सो।
The session will be unique not just because of the precautionary measures because of COVID-19, but also because of inflection point in the digital journey on cusp of a paradigm shift. Giant screens, engineers from NIC on call, provisions for possible latency were among the issues both secretariats wrestled with as plans to hold sittings in both houses were finalized to meet the requirement of social distancing made necessary by COVID-19 pandemic. Inputs from multiple ministries, teething technical troubles and countless queries, all part of an ongoing mammoth exercise to hold India's parliament monsoon session in these uncertain times. As a backup, a hotline communication facility has been set up between the chambers of the two houses for communicating any message regarding participation of members in case of any technical emergency.
राज्यसभा और लोकसभा दोनों के जो साउंड सिस्टम है हमारे, वो बिल्कुल अलग अलग हैं। जैसे राज्यसभा का एनालॉग सिस्टम है, लोकसभा का सिस्टम अभी कुछ दिन पहले चेंज हुआ था, वो डिजिटल सिस्टम में। दोनों सिस्टम को जोड़ना जो है एक बहुत ही डिफ़िकल्ट कार्य होता है। उसके अलावा दोनों साउंड रूम के बीच की जो दूरी है वो इतनी ज़्यादा है कि सिग्नल की क्षति इतनी ज़्यादा होती है कि वो भी एक चैलेंज भरा टास्क होता है। तो हम लोगों ने क्या किया, दोनों के बीच में एक फाइबर केबल बिछाई, फाइबर केबल से डिजिटल फिर एनालॉग सिग्नल में कन्वर्ट करके और दोनों सिस्टम को जो है कनेक्ट करने का प्रयास किया।
Rajya Sabha television and Lok Sabha television, through their existing arrangements in both the houses, will enable live telecast of the proceedings of the two houses, besides displaying the proceedings of each of the house on the screens in the other house. Chambers of both the houses are connected by half a kilometer long optic fiber and audio-video cables for real-time transmission of signals to enable members seated in both the houses to watch the proceedings from both places.
इसके दो पार्ट हैं, एक फ्रंट एंड एक बैक एंड। फ्रंट एंड अगर देखते हैं तो बहुत सिंपल नज़र आता है कि आपके एक हाउस में कुछ डिस्प्ले लगे हैं बड़े बड़े लार्ज स्क्रीन के, जिसमें लोग देखेंगे और कुछ फीड आ रही हैं। लेकिन उसके बैक एंड में जो तैयारी है वो है जो एक बड़ा काम, जो तुम्हें जान के ताज्जुब होगा कि हम उस 8 स्क्रीन जो हमारे हाउस में लगी हैं, 4 राज्यसभा में, 4 लोकसभा में, लार्ज LED स्क्रीन, इसके अलावा जो गैलरीज में और स्क्रीन्स हैं उनकी गिनती और है, करीब 20 के करीब टोटल स्क्रीन आती है। 20 स्क्रीन को हमें कुछ दिखाना है, उसके लिए जो तैयारियां हैं वो 22 कैमरे इस टाइम काम कर रहे हैं, जो इवन हमारे ट्रांसमिशन में ज़रूरत नहीं होती 22 कैमरा, जिसमें 13 लोकसभा के कैमरे हैं, 9 हमारे राज्यसभा कैमरे। इन दोनों कॉम्बिनेशन को मिला के आप एक ऐसा प्रोडक्शन तैयार कर रहे हैं, एक ऐसा आउटपुट दे रहे हैं और मल्टीपल आउटपुट दे रहे हैं।
During the last few months, we've seen more digital transformation than we've seen in last couple of years. But back in 2018 only, Chairman of Rajya Sabha Venkaiah Naidu had announced that members can submit their notices on the online platform. Now, this online platform will be a critical tool in containing the infection in this new normal. In view of the present circumstances, members have been requested to submit the notice required by the rules only through the e-notices portal, as far as possible to avoid physical handling of papers and visits to notice office. Members have been informed that as per established practice, notices given or transmitted by them by fax will not be admissible and therefore shall not be entertained by the Secretariat. Notice for a matter of urgent public importance or zero-hour submission in common parlance on a particular day should be given to Chairman after 12 noon till 8 p.m. on the previous day. A synopsis of the matter, justifying therein its urgency and importance, must be mentioned. The admitted matters may be raised immediately after laying of papers and conclusion of other business of formal nature during the first half an hour of a sitting. No member shall be allowed to make more than one submission as matter raised with permission in a week. Not more than 2 notices of calling attention may be given by a member for one sitting. A member who initiates a calling attention should not take more than 7 minutes, and other members who are called by the chairman should not take more than 5 minutes each and should restrict themselves strictly to seeking clarifications on the calling attention. For special mentions, notice should be accompanied by a text of the matter to be mentioned not exceeding 250 words. A member should not give more than 2 such notices for one sitting. The Ministries of Home Affairs, Health, Urban Development and Civil Aviation and CPWD were consulted in the last few weeks as aspects related to logistics, security and health were worked out. After detailed discussions, Chairman Naidu noted that all members of Parliament should get tested for COVID-19 without fail in their own interest and that of fellow members as well. All employees and staff of the Secretariat, including security personnel and media persons covering the proceedings of the House, will also get tested. This applies to personal staff of ministers as well. Indian Council of Medical Research will make necessary arrangements for testing of all. Movement of members of Parliament in the chambers of both the houses may be made unidirectional to avoid face-to-face interactions. Sanitization of footwear and even the cars to be used by the members and those provided by the Secretariat will also be sanitized by providing mats of required dimensions soaked in hypochlorite gel placed in troughs. DRDO will also provide multi-utility COVID kits to all MPs. Rajya Sabha Chairman has also directed the Secretariat officials to ensure only minimum movement of people in the Parliament House premises in consultation with the Lok Sabha Secretariat.
The leader of that political party would decide that on a particular date, who would be sitting here on the chamber, who would be sitting on the galleries, or who would be sitting in the Lok Sabha chamber, depending on the kind of participation they have to make. Like if somebody has to make a speech on that particular day, so they might decide that he will be sitting in the main chamber, or somebody has to raise questions, or he has to raise some points. So the party will internally decide, okay, today X will sit and the tomorrow Y will sit. So this makes it very convenient for them also that they can decide as to who will be seated on a particular day.
So get ready to witness this historic session of Parliament and keep watching Rajya Sabha television for all the updates. That's all I had for you in this edition. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay safe. Goodbye.